Done a wonderful job.
Right, yeah, I know why. All right, three quick questions. Okay, we already hit them in a certain way. We said the most exciting game, the best team on the field, the most shocking outcome. We actually covered that a little bit. Most exciting game, we already determined that Philadelphia and Green Bay. Very exciting game. The best team on the field. Now, from what you were able to see, what team performed up and over expectations when you saw them play on the field? If you was watching any of the games.
New England.
Yeah, they did.
They look great.
They did. They did.
Welker. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Hats off to them.
Yeah.
That's why Randy Moss' big mouth seems so out of place.
Well, look, the only reason why we're not covering Randy Moss because I think it's a play about something else. We'll get to it because everybody already knows the spin on this. You know, you don't come out and holler unless you want more money. The holler, no matter what they say, they're talking about he may have self-esteem issues. I said, would it make any difference if you get paid?
Well, yeah, and that's because Tom Brady got his deal signed late last week.
Right.
Like what, 2 days or before the season started, for an estimated $72 million deal, $48 million supposedly guaranteed.
Right.
That's an average of $18 million a year, making him the highest paid player in league history.
Yes, sir. So what does that tell you? So Randy's situation is what it is. He feels unappreciated. He doesn't realize.
I'm not appreciating him.
I know you're not. I know you're not. He's on the best organization.
He don't have a reality show.
Well,
T.O. and them, they have
what if he can't act?
Randy.
He can't act, maybe.
Maybe, and you need to be a little more pleasant. You know, get a makeover, fix up that do, clean up that outfit.
What
you
they
know,
talk
maybe
about.
you can get a reality show too.
Some media slammed him though. They said you're already in your mid-30s. What you doing with the rag on your head, looking like you're in your early 20s? Is it appropriate to slam his dress attire?
Yes, it is. It's always appropriate.
So would you?
When you have fashion sense, it's sensitive and developed as we do here at Pack Stereo, you have the right to slam him.
Okay.
Because he could be wearing some Pack Stereo gear like this wonderful item here.
Okay.
Long sleeve.
Yes, I understand. I understand your argument. It is a good argument, but we're going to leave Randy alone. All right, we got to flip it over real quick, man. I'm gonna say this right offhand. The most exciting game, the best team on the field, the most shocking outcome actually went two ways. It went for the NFL Sunday, but I'm going to use the same thing as it relates to college football. Now, on the college football scene, did you get to watch any of the games, Mario? I know it was a busy
I watched a bunch of college football.
Yeah.
Because I had to, by the way, Vic, I like to get away to college football because they play so hard.
Right.
And because I have to acknowledge the fact that in the back of my mind, I know that the NFL is headed for labor relations problems.
That's
Because
right.
everybody saw the signal.
Yes.
They walked out there with the fingers up. And that was the controversy, whether or not
Yes, sir.
that it was inappropriate for the NFL players to make this signal that they were in unison.
Right.
But meanwhile, while all that is going on, of course, with the labor issues,
Right.
you get to turn to college football, which, you know, and Vic,
Right.
okay, Vic.
Right.
I saw a lot of games. First of all, my favorite quarterback from last year, Masoli,
Yes.
is it Ole Miss? Is that
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Right.
Because I watched a lot of Southern games.
I know.
Ole Miss, University of Mississippi. They had game. Everybody had game.
Right.
But I got to see him, and still running and throwing and doing some things.
I think he's doing okay, but when you see what Oregon did going into
their
Tennessee,
new quarterback. Do you see that new?
Yes.
Okay, so Oregon now State pulls up the other quarterback. Masoli's gone, and he's looking excellent.
and they're rated in a position. When you go into Tennessee, everybody knows they kept talking about in the first half of the game, and I'm gonna say to me, the most shocking outcome is still not this game. I expected the game because in the first half it was very close, and you thought Tennessee was taking a step towards saying, hey, we're going to be viable, but everybody said this Oregon team, because of the talent and the way they played the game, they're coming. And that second half, they shut them down, and it ended up going away 48-13. So Oregon is the highest scoring team in college football right now.
Wow.
So it lets you know.
Wow.
So they're hot. Now, here's the part.
Other teams, they're not really
Yeah.
highest scoring, but that's okay. But
It's skewed a little
who
bit.
you play, who you play. Right?
That 72-0 over New Mexico is kind of skewed, and I understand.
72 over New.
Right. See the part
72
right to 0. So
Wow.
and here's the other part. They don't give up that many points. So on one hand, you can look at their schemes. Tennessee got to put out their best plays on emotion and everything. You saw that happening, but over a period of time, you knew Oregon was coming. So now, Here's the part. Out of the games I have listed here, for those of you who may not be checking us out at packstereo.tv/live, you can click on the morning coffee and then go into what we're showing here as display of which teams you thought was the most exciting game. I picked the most exciting game to me, even though it probably were better games, Michigan versus Notre Dame, because of Dane Crisp.
Oh, what a game, you guys. Come on. First of all, it was hard fought.
Yes.
And then I liked the brothers' dreads. You know, I had dreads like that.
Yes, you did.
If you go look at my pictures, I had them.
You bought them.
They just got heavy. You know, they had them down to here. But,
yeah, you bought them.
But he had the wonderful, I did. I still have them, too.
Okay.
But, wonderful game. That's now, hey, Vic.
Yeah.
Isn't that certain players, whenever I watch college ball, I tell myself, let me look for him in years.
Right.
So we kind of already are saying that, right?
Right.
About a number of these cats, right?
Right.
Specifically, my man Shoelace,
yes,
the quarterback,
yep,
for Michigan. Can't wait to see him in the pros, right?
Right. They're
looking like Michael Vick again, right?
Right. What they're doing is the same, and when you can combine the effort, and they're talking about him real early as it relates to accumulating 1,000 yards in 2 weeks, and that is equally his rushing impact and his throwing impact. He doesn't have a big arm, but he gets it done, and he's extraordinarily fast. And I don't even get behind Michigan. But here's the part that reminds me of the Oakland Raiders. You're going to say, how's this reminding you of
that? Oh, that's bad.
I'm going to say this.
They got an old fart at the head of the team?
I'm saying this. Michigan had to come out of the, excuse me, my throat is killing me. Had to come out of the age of having that traditional football scheme that they always were predictable in. And they got a new coach, Rich Rodriguez, came in and said, here's the quarterback of the future. Now, our team may not measure up in talent across the board, but what they bring, this excitement, and they talked about this guy, Dane Crisp, and said, is he in your top 5 as it relates to Heisman votes this early in the season? Or is he your number 1 at this time? Because they talked about he has sizzle. And I was watching the show, and said, Sizzle.
I know Sizzle. Okay. She's a stripper from Compton. Oh, that's
I thought she was from the Bronx.
Oh, that's her cousin. That's
South
Sazzle. That's Sazzle. I know her.
Okay.
She writes me on Facebook.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Chocolate ties. Remember the one, chocolate ties?
Yes.
Yeah, chocolate ties.
Okay. All right, you got it.
Yeah, sister, yeah.
All right, but here's the most shocking game I voted on, because here's the argument we had about Boise State. We said Boise State we put them at number 3 in the ranking. They just beat Virginia Tech in Virginia by 3 points. Then Virginia Tech comes back and lose to a Division II, if you want to call it school, FBS school, James Madison.
I know James Madison in Virginia.
You're right.
Right outside of D.C.
Right. They lose against them.
Little school.
So what does that say about Boise State if you put them up there, especially?
Even though James Madison always fools you, Vic, I just want to remind you, they also have basketball teams that show up in the NCAA.
Yes, they do.
And this is a little school. That's why I'm always amazed by James Madison.
I am too.
They show up in places you don't expect.
Right.
They really do. It's a good school.
Well, the indictment now is that the BCS rankings, Boise takes a hit because Boise goes in and beats Virginia Tech, but then James Madison beats them even in more point spread.
This shows you how tough James Madison is.
There you go. Now, here's the other thing. The team that really impressed me, the 2 teams, Oklahoma, put the hit on Florida State. Very talented team. I see them coming up in the rankings in Oregon as well. Yes. The disappointment that I saw that was immediate, when you go into somebody's home stadium like Stanford and you come in and blank UCLA 35-0. What does that say about those Bruins?
It says that they have no sphincter tone whatsoever. It's wide open.
Okay.
But what about they're terrible. Ask Southern Cal.
Right.
And I know you didn't put SC on here.
No, I didn't. You know why?
Why?
The bad part about I didn't expect
even though SC.
SC.
Let's watch how we say this, Vic, because you know now.
Right.
SC means South Carolina. To a lot of people. We meant Southern Cal. Because a lot of folks go, they used to argue that. Now, especially this year, right?
Right.
South Carolina going to say, we are the SC.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're right. And I'm great clarification. The reation why I didn't look at USC, Southern Cal, is because, one, I think still Lane Kiffin has to prove that he's a good good coach. 2, those scholarships lost, you lose players, and it's hard to recover. 3, they expect SC to have something because they got a good quarterback. The rest of the team is still having to come up to level. After that big game against Virginia, where they basically
does that
Virginia,
count as a big game?
Yeah,
Virginia, where do they rank?
No, big game for SC because
Virginia's not a football powerhouse.
That's why I said it's a big game because here's SC playing in their home field and barely beats Virginia,
right?
Unranked,
right?
That's a big game for SC.
I'm about to say they unranked. That's right.
It's a big game for SC.
There you go.
And they lost their ranking.
There you go.
Now, guess what? Now that we covered, we're not doing too bad on this, man. You know, we're going to get to that section where we get to address stuff that you like the most, Mario. It's called
Sex,
Do You Believe?
Sports bras, panty shields. That's my 3.
Do you believe?
What are your 3?
All right. See, it's wrong. Okay. We're going to go through this as quickly as possible because it's so much sports.
Do you believe?
We have to believe something, right?
Do you believe?
Okay, here we go.
I don't believe.
Do you believe?
No.
That Houston, we don't have a problem. Indianapolis does. Do you believe that? Do you believe that Indianapolis has a problem? And I'm gonna give you a caveat before you say anything. When Peyton Manning has to throw 40+ passes and still lose a game, what does that tell you about Indianapolis?
Well, it tells you a hell of a lot. It tells you they may have some problem with the running game.
Thank you.
So, and we knew that before.
So, right.
So, they're not a powerhouse. It's not an instant win.
Right.
That's what we know for sure.
And here's a comparison for all of you guys who want to understand how organizations are led from the top. Houston is relatively a new franchise when you talk about age. And I remember this back a few years ago when they were awarded the city as a new franchise. What does that tell you about a team that basically comes in and makes an impact that they're making? And you have a team like the Raiders, that is still stumbling over being the worst performing team in the last 10 years record-wise as far as wins. What does that tell you about Houston?
It tells you that ownership makes a hell of a lot of difference. It looks like it's Houston's time.
Yes, it does. It does.
It really looks like it's their time. You know what, Vic?
Yeah.
That's the most interesting team to me right now. It's the team I most want to watch in the NFL.
That's right.
And get a look at. I really do. So that's it for me.
And the lesson for Oakland Raiders, stop getting leftovers. Go out and get some real talent and some leadership.
Get a coach.
Get a coach. All right. Here it is. Do you believe Tiger Woods is thrilled to be eliminated from the FedEx Cup because he's still ranked number 1 in the world?
No. We talked about this. Tiger came back and had an excellent game, play in what was it, the Masters? Oh, damn it.
Yeah, you're right, the Masters.
The Masters, because, I'm not a golf person, but he had an excellent, remember, he was playing the hell out of everything.
Yes.
Now, laps again.
Yes.
And so, remember, we talked about this when we made our predictions for Tiger this year, that it was going to be an up and down year for him.
Right.
It's not going to be a great year for him.
Not at all. And the season's ending.
I think he's not thrilled, but I think he's concerned, but he's making progress as he's expecting.
So what do you expect him to do at the Ryder Cup, which is happening in the first week of October?
Is he going to be part of the Ryder Cup?
He's already been awarded the position on the team.
We'll see.
Okay. All right. Okay.
October's a ways away.
All right. Well, here we go with the next. Do you believe the USA basketball team who wins gold medal against Turkey, 81-64, celebrates eating turkey with the Turkish team at Denny's?
And with Turkaloo, who was part of the other team. So they all had turkey. There's Turkaloo.
Right.
And let's hear it for Durant, who played the hell of himself, played the hell out of this whole thing.
Right.
First of all, people don't even realize who played.
Right.
This is a no-name team. It was absent of Kobe, LeBron, pretty much only.